This is the video for you to watch or the audio for you to listen to if you listen to this on the podcast. Harrison, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Dan. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So I know that you are, a go-to expert in the world of real estate, and that you're from New Hampshire, and that you've been shaping the industry since 2011 when the background of overseeing massive operations for global CPG giant, managing multi-billion-dollar projects and leading property management firms. So I don't know what any of that means. Is that all correct?
That's all correct. Yes.
All right.
That's it.
So tell us, Harrison, how do you utilize video to fuel your dominance?
Yeah. So I, like so many agents, I got into this business and everybody said, well, you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do these certain things. You're supposed to do it this way. And I found that this way didn't work for me. I wasn't a cold caller. I wasn't a expired FISBO scripted type of person. That just wasn't how I work. I'm very much a networker. So I needed to find a way to be able to network at a higher level, take some of the friction out of the process. And what I learned was video. I was very comfortable in video. I enjoy creating videos of local businesses and educating the consumer on what's going on in the market and how the process works. And I really found that I enjoyed that. So I started doing that, and it led to some business. And then I met John Mosillo, Johnny Moe, who's my partner in this.
Johnny Moe.
And
I know Johnny Moe.
Johnny Moe. And so we started doing this at a much higher level, adding in things like optimization and SEO and having a real strategy, because I was just making videos before. Now is a real strategy to how we do this. We look and see what people want to know about. We make the videos, we optimize them, we create some SEO, and we get them out there. And what that does for us is it allows us to network at a really high level across our communities. We now have the highest ranking videos in our communities. So when you search for the communities that we're in, you find us first. We're on page 1 of Google for certain search terms. But more importantly, it's allowed me to build and explode my network here locally, because I'm continuing to get in front of business owners, offer them something of value. Now they want to talk to me. And from there, they're making introductions to other people for me, and the dominoes just continue to fall.
Okay. So talk to us like logistically, tactically.
Sure.
How often are you recording a video? How long's the video? What's the topic of general topic? Walk us through those steps if you could, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do a combination of things. So we do some short form content, which a lot of times we're just grabbing B-roll and doing a voiceover. So I'll go to my favorite coffee shop, grab a couple of photos, maybe I'll pan around the room, and then I'll just do a voiceover of, hey, today I'm at so-and-so, love this place, I got this, or remind people to go visit them, remind people who I am, and done. And that's just really simple short form.
That's like a 2-3 minute?
Those are sometimes anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds.
Okay, so that's going to be more like a short or reel
exactly.
rather than like a short format video?
Exactly. So it's going to be your vertical, your short form, your reel. Those things do great on TikTok, Facebook,
Okay.
YouTube. So we'll do a little bit of that. It's much simpler, B-roll voiceover, very easy to make those. And then from there,
hold on one second, because not everybody, B-roll is, and I think you described it, but just make sure that people don't.
Yep.
So describe B-roll real quick, just so everyone understands.
Yep. So B-roll would just be kind of some of your more generic shots. I'll pan around the room. I'll get a couple shots of the case, what I got. I'm not necessarily in the footage. Nobody's necessarily in the footage. I'm just grabbing some generic shots of the place, so I can talk about it.
Okay. And then you do the audio later, and you just reminded me, I got some B-roll. I went to the Shenandoah Mountains over the weekend, and I got some B-roll for it. And you just reminded me I've got to do the audio for that. So thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, no
back
problem.
to work.
Exactly. So the short form is great, because short form is a great way to attract people in. They see the short form, they're entertained by it, they engage with it, and they come in. Where you really get the conversion and the activity and the engagement is on the longer form. So we'll come in, we'll do a great short form video for the restaurant or the coffee shop or the business. And then we link up with the owner and say, hey, we did this video. We'd love to actually talk to you and tell your story. Would you be interested in doing that? And then we set up a more formal interview. We go in maybe after they've closed. In some cases, depending on where they are, it might just be on video, kind of like this. But now we actually sit down with the business owner and say, okay, tell us your story. Where did you come from? Where did the idea for this business come from? What was your inspiration? What's it like running a small business? What's easy about it? What's rewarding about it? What's hard about it? And get into a conversation with them. Because what we find, and most of us aren't aware of it, is when you go into that local coffee shop or bakery, 9 times out of 10, the person serving you at the counter owns the place. Yeah. You just don't know that because nobody really knows who the owner is. So we're trying to help bring them out. So we do a nice little interview with them, longer form video. These things are anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much of a story they've got to tell. That goes on YouTube. We'll also do a longer form video of the restaurant or the place we're at. We'll get a tour, meet some more people, and be able to kind of feature the business again in a way. We both get copies of the video. We both get to use it. We share it with our audiences. We're both seen together. But now I've also got content on YouTube. When people search best coffee shop in whatever town, they're finding us, and they're continuing. Now they come onto our YouTube page, and we become their guide to the area. And then when the time comes, they want to buy or sell. Oftentimes they're reaching out to us saying, "Hey, I've been watching your videos. I'm ready to go. Can you help me?"
How often are you doing these longer term? So I'm sorry, before we get there, how often are you doing the short form?
I'm doing the short form as often as I can. So I try to do it when I'm just out. So if I run into a place to grab a sandwich, I'll try to grab the B-roll and then I'll make it on my phone. So I do a couple of those a week. And I try to do
call it 2 a week.
Call it about 2 a week. And then I do 2 or 3 longer form videos a month.
Okay. So your cadence of this would be about 2 or so. We got to know, you know, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. We'll call it Tuesday, Thursday. You just do the B-roll. On Saturday, you don't have any appointments. You do the audio over top of the B-roll. You get somebody to produce it. Call it a day. And then maybe once every 2 weeks or so, you're going to have a more in-depth interview with a business owner, for example. Am I following you along? Am I following
absolutely.
along here?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
So it's that kind of cadence.
Okay.
And then we're utilizing, you know, that's going on our website. It's going on YouTube. We're publishing clips and reels and blogs off of it. Kind of all over the place, just to continue to put that traffic out there, because we have Facebook pages and we run community groups.
Yeah. So the long format, then you're getting like 2 shorts a week. Then you got the long format, and then from that long format, you're probably pulling another 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 shorts or reels from that as well, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So now you basically you have enough content with a manageable, like a manageable schedule, right? Because what you just said, now again, you got to get somebody to produce this for you, right? But if you don't have somebody to produce this for you, then that's going to be a big lift. Assuming you got somebody to produce this for you, you're already out at the Home Depot. Well, that's not a good example, but the mom and pop hardware store, you're already out there buying a hammer.
Yep.
And you're already out having coffee. So you're just doing the B-roll, and then you take, no more than an hour on Saturday. That's being pessimistic. Somebody professional like you, probably 10 minutes at most, record the audio, boom, done. And then call it an hour and a half every 2 weeks. And you've got enough content for 2, 3, 4 a week. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we continue to stay on that schedule. So we've always got stuff to post. And the nice thing is, as we're posting the shorts, we're then using that to reach out to the business owners to say, "Hey, we did this. Would love to come in and talk to you and tell your story." Very few of them say no. So then we're scheduling those out. And then oftentimes we finish that interview and I'll ask the business owner, who else do you know might benefit from this? And they're giving me all kinds of recommendations and making introductions for me. And, we just got an introduction. We're in Maine. Maine is a big travel vacation market. We just got an introduction to the director of tourism and travel for the city of Portland, Maine, our biggest city here.
Awesome.
And now we're going to work directly with them to help promote the businesses that they know need help to draw in tourists.
Yeah. Now these business owners are more likely to be dominant personalities, type A drivers, and connectors. And so not only do you get the benefit of the marketing, but you also get the benefit of the relationship, because I'm sure that, the coffee shop guy, I mean, how many people is he serving a day? He may come across somebody who needs your services.
Yep, absolutely. And what we find is that oftentimes these small business owners don't necessarily have that referral realtor they'd use. So by building that relationship, providing them some value, that law of reciprocity kicks in. They want to help, and we generally get referrals not only for clients but also other business owners we should meet and get to know. And so it's allowed me to explode my network here locally. And I now have small business owners calling me all the time just with a question or a thought, or in some cases, just a referral. "Hey, this person I know, can you talk to them? They're ready to go." So, I'm trying to move my business away from, I don't want leads. I want referrals. I don't want to chase the leads for the 5%, 3%, 1% conversion, whatever it is. I want the referrals. Just tell me who's ready to do something, and I'd love to talk to them.
Absolutely. I mean, you get those warm referrals. It's basically the only way you don't get it is they decide not to move forward.
Right.
right? But if they're moving forward, it would be unlikely that they don't use you. I mean, it's possible. It's possible, but the conversion ratio, and I'm the same way as you. And yeah, I'll take the leads, right? Because I want to scale my business. Yet you give me a choice between a lead and a referral, man, all day long, I'm taking that referral.
Yep, absolutely.
How many people will contact you? Okay, so let's go back to the content.
Mhm.
So you're doing the shorts and the reels really to sort of attract people to your YouTube channel.
Yep.
Or to maybe your Facebook or whatever. It's more for like attraction.
Exactly.
Then from there, you're doing a longer format to be able to provide value, and hopefully they're subscribing, and now they become a part of your marketing channel. From that funnel, how many people are contacting you that they see a video and now they're relocating to Maine or Portland or wherever they're relocating? How's that? What's that looking like?
Yeah. So as an example, last week I had 2 buyer referrals come in off of it. People that have been watching the videos. And the nice thing is that, I'm nurturing that relationship with them all along, although I don't know they're out there. They just continue to watch the videos and follow along, and then they raise their hand when they're ready. So I don't know how many potential people are in that pipeline yet, but I do know that last week, 2 of them reached out ready to begin their search here. And, at very healthy price points for my market, which is great because they've been watching and following and they're interested. And in many cases, because I've been that kind of tour guide to them, they feel like I'm the expert. I'm the only person that can give them what they need because they've seen what I've provided to this point. So I got 2 last week. I've closed 7 or 8 that have been directly off of those so far this year, that I can attribute to that. Obviously, they come in from different ways. I can't always tell if that's exactly how they came in, but it's
How long
it's at least one a month. I'm sorry?
At least one a month. How long have you been doing this strategy for?
I've been making video for about 1.5 years now. I've been doing it this way for about 6 months, and that's when it really took off.
Okay. 1.5 years, and you're doing about one a month.
Yep.
You're probably, if I was to guesstimate, you're probably at if you imagine a hockey stick and you look in the momentum of a hockey stick, how it sort of goes up.
Yep.
18 months, I'm going to imagine that you're probably at that turning point of momentum.
Yes, it feels that way.
And you have not yet benefited from the momentum, but you benefited from the slow growth. And I would anticipate that you're about to go into a momentum of growth. What do you think about that? You align with that?
I do. And I think you're right, because what used to be kind of, I would get one person a month, became a couple a month, became a few a month. And now I'm getting consistently like 1 or 2 a week. So I do feel like there's this growth of people have been watching. And I don't know exactly how many people are in that pipeline because they're just kind of watching and they raise their hand when they're ready. So what I'm finding is, as my network has grown through this, I'm getting more people that are just calling me saying, "Hey, you should talk to so-and-so." So they did come in from video indirectly because it was the relationship I built with the video that I made. But then on top of that, I got people that are coming in off YouTube and off the website where they're watching our videos and reading our blogs and saying, "I'd like to move to Maine. Can you help me?" Or, "I'm thinking about selling. Can you help me?" So I do agree. I feel like, it went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 a month. And now I'm getting sometimes in 2 a week, going into what really is the off season for Maine. I mean, we're in the very northern Northeast. In a few months, it's going to be cold and there's going to be snow on the ground.
I was about to say, it's getting ready to be cold.
Yeah. It's getting ready to be cold.
What's the name of your channel?
So we got a couple of them. So the first one's Explore Maine Life. And that one, John and I do. And then we've got another one called Maine Connects. And we just started that one a couple of months ago. That's much more focused on small business, networking, storytelling, education for the consumer. So really, we've got both now going, bringing in much different clientele.
Okay. Now you help agents do this, right? I mean, this is what you're doing in your business. And I know Johnny, I know that he does a lot of really, really amazing things.
Yep.
And, but you help agents to be able to do this as well. Is that correct?
We do.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. So we offer 2 versions of this. So we just released a course that breaks down everything that we do. So if you want to do it yourself, which I tried, and it's hard, but if you want to do it yourself, you can. We're happy to show you how we use AI, how we use SEO, how we keyword research to find out what videos to make, how we then use that to build a network. We'll show you everything we do. We have a course for that. But we also offer this as a service to clients where we do the keyword research. We give them some ideas of what should be in their script. They go film the video. They send it to us. Our professional editing team does all the editing for them. We distribute it to their Chime site because we offer a Chime site as part of this whole package because Chime is super powerful with content on it. We publish it to their Chime site, we publish it to their YouTube, and then we give them the finished package so they can put it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever else they want to post it.
Okay, so done for you and done with you.
Correct.
Yep. So how, if I'm an agent, I want to find out about that. How do I get hooked up with that?
Yeah, so our website is it's theevolutionmediagroup.com. So theevolutionmediagroup.com. And right on our main page, you can, if you just want our Chime site with our SEO, you can get that. You can see our training and coaching options, and you can also see our full-blown done for you service.
What's the biggest mistake that you've made in doing content on video that you would say, I wouldn't make that mistake again?
Honestly, the biggest mistake I made was I made the stuff I thought people wanted to hear. I made the stuff that I wanted to tell them versus actually looking at what they really truly wanted. So as an example, we all love to do the just solds and stuff like that. The consumer doesn't care about that. What they want to hear is, how'd you do it? How'd you help them? What's the process look like? What's the market like? Where should I be moving to? That's the stuff they want. So when we started doing the keyword research to find out what people were already searching for, and then made the videos that ran into the traffic that was already there, it completely changed.
Would you say that you would consider yourself more educational or entertaining?
I am much more educational. John is much more entertaining.
Yeah, I was gonna, you know what? I should have freaking said it before I asked him. I'm like, you're the guy that educates, because I know he's the one that entertains.
Yeah, 100%. He loves to go into the restaurants and eat and show you all the great stuff like that. I like to highlight the businesses, talk to the business owners, educate the consumer on the process, the market. So it works out very well. We really kind of run down two lanes. And because of that, we're attracting different clientele into our business.
Sure.
And then our partners that do it are a mix also. We've got some that are much more educational, some that are much more entertaining. But ultimately it works. It's a matter of making content that people are searching for in a way that's comfortable and authentic to you.
Besides educational and entertaining, and this is a true question because I don't have like a preconceived, like I had a preconceived, like I pretty much knew your answer there. But besides those two venues, is there something else that you found that the consumer, meaning the viewer, would be attracted to besides education and entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a hybrid in between those, which is getting into, people always want to know what's going on. They're always curious, like, what should I do this weekend? Where should I go? So we've got a blend in there too, where we offer up kind of a peek at what's going on here locally. So we're sharing some news, we're sharing some highlights, we're sharing some events. So it's not necessarily either of those two. It's kind of a hybrid where you're almost more providing a news service to let people know what's going on, because that is one thing we get a lot of questions about is, well, if I'm coming to Maine, what should I do?
So I've heard in marketing that and I'm curious because you may not do any of this, right? But I've heard that there are some things that will cause for videos to become viral, for example, like conflict, politics, sex, greed, fear. Now, I don't know if that's appropriate in community videos, right? But I do know, like, if you go online and you see these types of things, that a lot of times particularly conflict, which I'm not comfortable doing, right? But maybe I should become comfortable doing it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on those sort of venues for creating, virality or engagement?
Yeah, so I think it depends on what you're after. So for us, I'm not looking for 1 million views. I'm looking for 20 of the right views. To me, it's more about who's viewing it versus how many I get. So we don't go into those areas very much. I mean, I did do an interview with the former Speaker of the House in Maine talking about the affordability and supply issues in the state. A couple of clips from that got a lot of views because affordability is a big issue. And the lack of supply in Maine that's driving our prices way up is another big issue. So
celebrity is another one. So that right there, you use a celebrity, you're using a common topic, and you're using maybe politics, maybe not. I don't know. It depends if he's a conflicting politician.
Yeah, and he works directly with the governor's office now in a special role working on community and housing. So it kind of checks those boxes without being super controversial. But it kind of hit on hot button issues that people are really concerned about. So like that was one that got a lot of views. I think because of the combination of those things. But we don't intentionally try to be controversial, but we're not afraid to go right at the issues.
Sure. Okay. If I was to ask Johnny that same question, what would he say?
He likes to push the envelope a little bit more than I do. So, he'll say this is the best burger. He'll say this is the best that.
And back on here, ask him.
Yeah, you should, because he's very much the creative genius behind this. And he took what I was already doing, what he was doing, and we were able to kind of meld this together and really put together something that makes a lot of sense. And it's helped a number of agents in a lot of different markets. And it's really, putting a strategy and a plan behind what we're doing. Because I think a lot of agents are doing a good job creating content and creating videos. But a lot of what gets created won't convert. And I think that's the frustration. People say, well, video doesn't work. Well, when you sat in your car and pointed at the 3 boxes and had some weird music over the top of it, that's the attraction piece of it, but you missed the conversion piece of it. You didn't have that next step in the process that's going to get them to come into your world and stay in your world. You entertained them for 30 seconds, but there was no meat on the bone when they got further in.
So how do you convert?
It's really getting them into the long form. So they see they get entertained by the short form. They come in to see more, and then they're hit with market updates, process information, business features. They can come in and they can get into our newsletter cycle. It's getting them to come through the short form to start to watch the long form and engage with what's going on. That's when you start to see the views go up. And what's interesting, and John loves to go into this, is that 2/3, 66 to 75% of our views are on TVs. So people are watching a lot of what we do in their living room or in their bedroom. They're watching it on a TV, which I find interesting because most people think of YouTube and all this as something you just watch on your phone. We're finding a lot of people are sitting down and actually going through our channel on a TV, likely as part of their home research process.
I would not have guessed that. Makes sense to me. I mean, you bring attention to it. Yeah, it makes sense, but I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny to see how those trends have changed.
No kidding. So the funnel would be short form into long form into, hey, I'm interested to move to Maine or wherever the case may be, and they contact you. So in the long form, you have a call to action in that video, I'm assuming?
Yes.
And how many call to actions and at what point in the videos do the call to actions occur?
We've usually stayed to a call to action really only at the end. But there are situations where we'll add it kind of in the middle. If this is interesting to you, make sure you click the link below and find out more. Or it depends on who we're talking to too. So if we're creating content really more driven at sellers, we may mention twice that there's a link below for a free home value. If we're talking more to buyers, we may mention the fact there's a link below to all of our preferred vendors if they want to get the process started, or they want that consultation to understand what the process looks like more in depth, kind of a one-on-one sort of situation. We don't beat them over the head with the call to action because we don't want to push them away. We want them to continue to come in and engage and stay. But we don't want them to forget we're in real estate either and watch all our videos and then call somebody else.
Yeah, I go, so my approach is to do like what I call a soft pitch somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
And then a hard call to action at the end that's already filmed, and so then we just sort of tag that hard. And the soft pitch would be just so like I call it like an, oh, by the way, oh, hey, listen, if if you're curious about this, let me know. I can tell you some more information and I don't have time to be able to share it with you right now, something like that. And,
yep. Yeah, so, very similar we do.
Okay, cool. All right. So what's, if you were starting this today, and you're at month 0 of 18 months. Now I already asked you, with mistakes that you made, but what advice would you give me today if I'm starting day 1 today? I've never done a video. I'm somewhat comfortable doing videos, so we have to sort of make the assumption that you talked about before. Well, I don't want to call expired. Well, some people will call expired, but they won't get on video. So my approach is to take your superpower. Now let's roll into your superpower, and if you're not comfortable on video, maybe this isn't the right approach for you. Maybe it is. I don't know what your opinion is of that, but let's assume that you are comfortable on video. What do you do on day 1?
Yeah. So what I would say is what I would do on day 1 is I would think of all the frequently asked questions I get from my clients. What are the things they always ask me? Things about the process, about the area. What are those FAQs? Answer them. Answer those on video. Start right there. Because if your clients are asking you the same series of questions over and over and over again, that means everybody else is going to ask those too. So I would start off by creating a library of the FAQs that I get. And now you've got this great repository that people are likely going to search and find. But if nothing else, when you do meet them, you can send them the link and say, hey, if you'd like to learn more, follow through my videos, because you've now taken the friction out of them feeling like they're being sold. They can just follow along. But what I will tell people is, if you're not comfortable on video, then blog about it, or put an image up and do audio over the top of it if you don't want your face on it. But I would say, rather than do nothing, find the medium that's comfortable for you. And now if that's video, great. If that's audio, great. If that's blog, great. They all work. I would say, whatever you do, take those FAQs, publish them out to the world, and use that as a library to help educate the clients with the questions that they're all already asking.
You know what I love most about the strategies, the tactics that you're doing is that, what I teach in the consistent predictable income community is consistency, time on task, right? You can literally, using your system, spend 2 days a month to sort of get that rocking and rolling, and say, I'm going to spend 2 days and I'm going to do all my content.
Yep.
And then I'm going to publish it over the next 30 days, 2 or 3 or 5 a week. And now I've got that consistency in my lead generation, in my marketing channel, at least. And it doesn't take a lot of time or effort, as opposed to if I'm calling expireds, I got to wake up every morning and call those expireds.
Exactly.
Right? Like I can't pre-do it, but the way that you're doing it, you certainly can.
Exactly. And what I love about video is the fact that video is prospecting for you every day. The cold calls you make only prospect the day that you make them. So, as a great example of one of those buyer leads that I got a call in on this week, came from, they were watching a video I made 7 months ago. I made that video one time, put it out there. They saw it. It triggered them to say, oh, like, that's what I'm looking for. I want to talk to this person. That video is out there forever. That blog is out there forever. Whereas the direct mail you send or the phone calls you make are only good that time you did it.
Yeah. Harrison, thank you again. Tell us one more time how somebody can get in touch with you, please.
Yeah. Best way to find me. You can find me on social media, under my name, Harrison Smith. You can find more about the company at theevolutionmediagroup.com. We also offer, coaching, training, courses, done for you service. We very much enjoy watching these agents that come to us transform their business with video, and would love to help those that want to do that for themselves.
Tell me that website one more time.
It's theevolutionmediagroup.com.
All right. Now, if you get confused, if you're listening or viewing this right now and you type in The Real Estate Evolution, you can have a free copy of my book. That's a true story right there.
That's perfect.
I was setting up that soft pitch, man.
That was perfect. It was like we planned that.
All right, Harrison. Thank you for your time today, and God bless you. And for everyone that was watching, God bless you as well. Have the best day of your life. Be